for the end of this little section, we'll take a quick look at what I've done in Portal Unity Reboot. So, oh, god damn it, I forgot that's there. So, this is Portal Unity Reboot for now. This is like the intro. Plays the same music. I'll stay for this too. I'll stay for this though. Oh, okay, yeah, all good. So you'll get a little bit of a glimpse of some of the maps, and how they're different. Yeah, time to be judged. Yeah, this is when so much judgment comes through that I'd end up never releasing it. Very nostalgic, this mod. Thank you for making it. That's all good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad it's something that you find nostalgic. Yeah, so this just loops through some of the maps. But yeah, whatever the case, we've got like all of the same chapters. Yeah, let's start with first steps. I think I disabled a bunch of the sound stuff because it wasn't working. A bunch of music and sound and stuff like that was just bugged, and I didn't get around to fixing it because that was stuff I was like, I'm just gonna do that at the end. There's also still no subtitles. The subtitles, I've made it work, but I haven't applied them. I haven't bothered to rewrite all the words or the script. So I actually had the voices disabled before, but I did a sound rebuild last night.
I will be your guide to the testing secrets.
Your business is appreciated.
Oh, whoops. Oh, whoopsies. I'm sorry, I forgot about this color source. Sorry for the white square. I forgot that I still had the color source on from last stream. Why is that menu up so high? Oh, up so high, up, holy. It was just the Portal 2 menu. I just used the Portal 2 menu. Yeah, so it's like all like, we kept the same, I've kept all the same textures to begin with for like the smooth white stuff, like these radio and stuff, because the radio in Portal 2 is all like crusty and broken, and same with this little square, this little cube, it's all like dirty, so I pulled over the texture from Portal 1. This still works, but it's a little bit different. It doesn't, you can't just do it at your will anymore. I just made it a toggle, like that, so you can still hop into it. It makes more sense, like logically, for someone trying to get into their bed, you know. Oh, what the? Oh, Portal 2, can't crouch jump anymore. Whatever the case, this all still looks basically the same. The light source comes from the window there. I think it does in the original Portal as well. The original Portal Unity as well. But, that's way more emphasized. Yeah, so these little hallways have those like lights. Instead of having illogical light sources, the light sources all come from the windows, although this one is one of the ones that I despise. I wanted to tweak it. Yeah, so I made it just like work like this instead. So I have the hard light bridges. I'm utilizing the hard light bridges instead of those weird barrier bridges, the barrier textures. There are indicator lights. Yeah, indicator lights everywhere. I put as many indicator lights around as I could. Also, this is a little different, as you'll see. Instead of falling and going to an elevator, which leads to the next part, I was like, screw that. There's a door here to show that there is still an elevator there. It's just hidden. Yeah, and here we have the indicator, the chamber lights. I want to clean this up a little bit. I don't like that this is still like dirty around the edges. But yeah, we have a full array of all of the things that are in the game. We have this actually functioning with proper numbers and everything. The light source comes from the chamber, the observation room. So all the lighting in this room comes from the thing there. Oh, yeah, I use the Portal 1 Fizzler models. Yeah, I like the Portal 1 Fizzler models. I did use the new Portal Activator models though. White square, yeah. I'm sorry about the white square. I didn't realize it was still there. Can you get trapped under the lift? You cannot. I don't believe. It basically just stops if it hits your head, and then if you walk out, then it moves down, you know. Yeah, all the chamber lights are all good now, and this works a little bit differently.
Congratulations.
But it uses Portal 2 arms and stuff. Yeah. See, and the light comes from the window there. It looks really cool from this angle, from the window angle, in my opinion. Though I haven't. One thing I'm bothered by is that I haven't upped the shadow qualities yet, and so all of the shadows aren't as crisp as I'd like them. I need to use projected textures. I need to switch a bunch out for projected textures to get the real smooth lights. Yeah.
Try using both portals to find your way to the top of this chamber.
I honestly like the Portal 2 textures in these maps. I like them. He fixed the mess of 4 that was useless in the final mod. Yeah, that's the thing. It had a purpose in our original mindset. Also, no elevator here. I was like, there's no point having an elevator here. It's much nicer if you just transition straight into the next puzzle.
Just like you,
Indicator lights.
items can be moved through portals.
There's an actual cube dropper there, so if you fizzle the cube in the fizzler, it'll respawn. But also, if you somehow trap the cube, there's a button to respawn the cube. And also, one thing the indicator light does is it indicates from a distance that there's something over there to look at. Oh dear. Indicator lights are great. Why did I not make indicator lights in the original? I'm so annoyed. Extra triggered. What are you so triggered by? I didn't really like the Portal 2... I don't like the Portal 2 Fizzler models as much as I like the Portal 1 Fizzler models. So, yeah. So, indicator light's working. This is the start of the... This is where Damien's gonna get triggered.
As you can see, they're producing sparkling golden orbs of energy.
This is actually one that I was thinking about this the other day, and that's one that I actually want to change a little bit, because there's something coming up that I think I want to teach you in this chamber, so that it's not so barren. I want to teach you a little extra something in this chamber before you move on to the next one. But yeah, once again, all the lighting comes from the observation room. Giant observation room in the end of the room there, lighting the rest of the room. You can just use the V-script for the light boards. V-script? For the light boards? I don't know what you mean. Oh, for these, you mean? I don't know what you mean. So, this room is very different. The voice line still refers to energy balls. Can't wait till the reboot comes out. Yeah, eventually, one day it will. I'm giving you like a walkthrough, basically. So, this is a lot more complicated than it originally was, and that's why I say I want to introduce the player to the cube before this room. Because it requires using the cube and firing it through a portal to get to this point. Before you can open the door. But I wanted to completely replace the orbs with lasers. Mainly because originally, as I said before, originally this was just going to be a map pack. So I wasn't gonna try and do any mod stuff. It was going to be entirely just maps. But then, towards the end, I was like, oh, I want to fix some of these things that I need to make textures for, or do certain fixes for.
What you see before you is an amateur science defensive operations chart.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, same deal as last time.
To shoot at test subjects. Please try and avoid their fire.
This chamber works very differently. Once again, there's a button over there you can activate the cube dropper with, but also there's a fizzler here.
Causing them to shut down.
The turrets don't automatically fire, which I prefer immensely.
For example,
yeah. The cube still does the knock over the turrets thing, but now if you somehow trap yourself, you can respawn the cube as well. So yeah, a whole lot of things like fixes for quality of life stuff. Let's just kill this thing real quick. How did you make this? Oh, this is where the elevators are broken. I forgot. This is the point where the elevators are still broken. That's an issue that I was having. The way that I did the reboot originally back in 2014. By the way, most of this that you're seeing was actually made back in 2014. I'm drifting again. I drift sometimes. Yeah, most of the mod that you're seeing here was actually made back in 2014. Something that's new is all the elevators working up until this chamber. The other thing that was fixed was indicator lights. I went and just put indicator lights everywhere more recently.
I've been told that I cannot help you in
Yeah.
this chamber.
So this chamber is a little different. It's a little bit more open. Also, you can see the portal gun right off the bat, and it's inside like a little glass container. Yeah, so it works the same way basically, except that now there's this whole area over here that's open instead of being closed off. It used to be a closed off energy orb area that had to activate a new portal and then deactivate it when you left, and it was a bit of a mess. But yeah, I've changed it a little bit. I feel like there should be a voice rework. I mean, yeah, I agree. But the thing is, a lot of it refers to stuff that isn't in the game anymore. So I was a little bit bothered by that. I think is there a... Oh, this is one of the droppers. Yeah, I didn't add the, I wanted to add buttons to all the cube droppers. This is one that doesn't have a button yet. So that you can respawn the cube if you need to. But yeah, you just activate that. Once again, through glass, just to imply or to show that you can fire the laser through glass. And then, because there's a fizzler here, it just automatically closes the door behind you, which I like. But same weapon strip. Same little animation thing that plays out here. At least in text-to-speech format. Although text-to-speech is not as good as real voice acting. Well, that's the thing. I'd rather get real voice acting if I could. Yeah. Does the same thing as it did originally. And now, instead of using that grid thing, it's actually a player clip, but I put, like, I just use these to make them visually, like, you know. I didn't like what it looked like when I had 3 of these lined up. I tried to line one up under here and it didn't look nice, so I just made a player clip in the middle. Stop the player falling down.
Congratulations. What you've just received.
But yeah, so this instead of the portal gun coming from the roof, the glass case lifts off of it. Okay, actually, yeah, good question, Maddie. How far are we gonna play through the reboot? I'll stop there. I won't play any more. What I will do is I'll load a one-off map up ahead. Actually, no. What I'll actually do is I'll show you the end. I'll show you the end of.
He's going to kill you. You have to listen to him. You don't have much time.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything. Yeah, that's the thing. Voice stuff I was not going to touch until I had already got everything else sorted. So, this map works a little bit differently. Once again, indicator lights for everything, which I'm glad about. I'm glad of. Okay, so this works. Yeah, this works. As I said before, it works a little differently. We now have the gel instead of. This is one of the things that I actually did completely differently. Like originally, there was a propulsion belt on over the water here. I decided that I didn't want that, and I wanted something that required portals, and these are the replacement for the propulsion belts. Yeah. So there's a little portable surface up the top there that you get propelled to, and then you use that to fly across a gap. And then there's just a cube spawner over here. Once again, button to spawn the cube. So what I tend to do is I'm lazy and I just do this. Get up here. By the way, also, portal, like, the portal guides that automatically place a portal in the middle of a wall, because I wanted, the laser has to be very specifically placed. Once again, do this again. Yeah, go up here. It works basically the same way, but, it's, yeah, it uses the laser instead. You close the gap with the panels. I could have, I guess. I didn't like, once again, I preferred what it looked like with the, light bridges. And I used what is the equivalent of light bridges in the original, so I preferred that. What do you mean, bad map? I like this map. I like it a lot. And I put 2 observation rooms in here to add lighting. Cube, yeah, so this is where it varies greatly. I never really liked the way that it played out originally. I still want a lot of turrets, though. But I made it use lasers and I made it use this mechanic instead. We got a portal button here. Oh, I lost my laser. I'm an idiot. I lost my laser. I can recover. Okay. So with this reflection cube, I have to get over there. This is something that I wasn't so sure about, and I still am not sure about, honestly. Is the way that this works over here. I liked it because it's like a little slot machine, and it's a bit like one of the things I had in the original game that I actually cut. But yeah, if you get over here... Oh, I nearly landed in that. Ooh. We got a little, like... It's like a little slot machine of sorts, or a little game machine. You got a grey portal button and an orange portal button here. Yes, you fixed the only room I didn't like. Yay. I'm glad, because I hated that, like, jumping across the things with the orbs flying everywhere, because so many times, just out of the blue, I'd get hit by a random infinite orb, and I hated that. So, what you gotta do is, you gotta, basically, spawn a cube. And the cube has a bunch of, like, traps and stuff. What you gotta do is you wait for that a little bit, and then you place a blue portal there, orange portal there. Yeah. Yeah, little, cube from the little slot machine. I like calling it a slot machine, even though it's just it's like a video game machine. It's like an arcade machine. Okay, so, once again, we'll do this. Okay. We'll leave that there for now. bring this with us. Get the blue portal lined up a little bit better. This orange portal up there. And then we've got a few... You need to bring this with you. You can't get away with not having it, because you need it for this bit here. Get rid of the turrets real quick. And then there. I wanted to build this little area out to have these turrets just to make a little trap of sorts, but it's not really that hard to get around.
On the center plate, in the middle of this room,
I made it a lot easier, honestly. Because of lighting, I left all the chambers with lights on. This is the one that people complained about in the trailer, because these models have sound when they animate. I didn't put those sounds on, they were just already built into the animations of the models. And I can understand why people dislike it, comparatively, but I wanted to use the arms. I like Portal's arms. So I made it one by one fall in. And then you're left with the hovering panels again. Whee! And I think this actually... Oh, it does actually load. It does load. And now into the part that everyone hated. And everyone got mad about.
No!
Okay, something I want to show. Like, I landed on this little barrier. This is what I wanted. I wanted it to be like this, where you had once again, using the light bridges. Something I'm going to show off just really quick is if we load... this is something that I spent ages trying to get working. So if I load this real quick...
No!
Hover for a second. She says no, but the light bridge doesn't spawn. If for some reason you're on this side of the room and you fall, the light bridge will still catch you. No matter where you fall, you'll get caught. Something in the original is that you would often fall to your death if you weren't standing in the center. I made it so it always catches you, but once it catches you, it doesn't move, because it actually can't. Light bridges cannot move, cannot be like twisted while they're active. I tried many times. Okay, so now for the very low detail escape room that everyone got mad about. And will not feature in the final version of the reboot. I'm sorry. Oh, the map you hated was was the escape map. I see. Yeah. This is the map that Tier 1... I showed Tier 1. I gave it to him to try and see if he would be willing to take a look at it. This is actually the original version, if I'm not mistaken. This isn't the one that I actually showed Tier 1. This actually doesn't have some of the details that I fixed. So this is actually an older version of this map. But yeah, it doesn't catch you. Originally, actually no, the version that I've shown Tier 1 has instead of this little setup here, it has a funnel that actually takes you along. So the funnel pushes you along, so you don't have to run. This version you have to run across, and I don't like it, and that's why I changed it. But yeah, so you make all your way across here. This little room, this little hole exploded, and there's some rubble and stuff. There's a light. There's a solitary light hooked up to that thing. But yeah, you're supposed to look up. This room is supposed to make you look up, but I don't know if players would do that. I haven't really done much to make the player look up, but there are little platforms, little things to portal onto. And this was all supposed to look like Persephone had done this to try and save you. They're all like, there are platforms attached. Oh, actually, one thing I didn't look at originally, but I'll show you. Okay. This is something I thought was funny. I wanted it to look funny, but I don't know if anyone would appreciate it. And that is that this little setup, I was gonna put did I put them on here? I think I put them on there. I didn't put them on here. This was supposed to be basically Persephone welding platforms to other platforms. So you got this platform arm going up like this, that's attached to a glass plate arm that's just like jammed in there, which is then welded to another platform, which goes up to another glass platform, and it's this horrific arm made of Portal 2 arms, which I thought was funny, but I don't know if people would appreciate it, honestly. What's this? It is the escape map that I am not including, but I made it. I was trying to make something with an escape map. This was once again, this whole, pretty much everything you're seeing in this version of this map was made back in 2014. The entirety of this, with like the yellow lighting and the like acidy open test chamber. This is a test chamber that has not been finished. This is a test chamber that's half constructed, and not everything was functioning. You know, there's like there's paint spawners that don't work. There's open walls. Like this is supposed to be what was the intention of this? Panels on panels on panels. Yeah. When I saw this, I was just like, Rory, what the fuck? Yeah. So, what I wanted with this is that, yeah, this is all the chambers. If you look into the distance, if you look into the skybox, out into the distance, I wanted this to look a bit like the Portal 2 when you're going towards Wheatley's lair section. I could not get it to look the way I wanted it to. This skybox does not work the way I want it to at all. I tried really hard to make it work the way I wanted it to, but this is the skybox. A bunch of pillars, all leading to different test chambers. The pillars are supposed to have the elevators in them. So, for instance, if you look over at... I think this is what this was supposed to be. This was them constructing an elevator lift. And you've got... That's why there's an elevator section here. This was supposed to be like an elevator path that they were building into the pillars. If you look over here, the end of the chamber that leads to a lift, leads to an elevator, is another pillar that's there. So all these pillars are supposed to be different elevator chutes. And this room, these rooms, all of the rooms that you can see in the distance, that are all those, like, those squares, I was going to cover them in arms, but I didn't get to that point. I didn't add any models. They were basically supposed to be a shell of a test chamber. And inside each of these shells was the functioning test chamber. This one was, yeah, as I said, was half constructed. It wasn't finished. It was intended to be half constructed, but it almost comes across like I actually was half constructed. You know, I actually hadn't finished building it. So, something you learn earlier in the mod is how to create your own gel paths. So this puzzle requires a gel path. And there's a button over there. I'm just gonna pull this back a little bit over here. So, using the gel, go like that. Oh, that's right. That's one of the reasons I was like, do I actually need to have the one I remade? I remade this puzzle to work properly, because it doesn't work properly in this version. Ah, shit. It's a real tight puzzle. I made it way better in the newer version. Okay, one last time. So, blue. Yeah. And then you land on here. So, this wasn't particularly complicated, but it just required a bit of timing. So this was also going to change. I didn't like just the way that it just suddenly ended. It's going to add a little bit extra to the ending. But yeah, you go up here, and there's another elevator. And then this one, did I make it work the way I think I made it? Yeah, so the skyboxes with shrunk down models. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do. Cover all the little boxes with... That's right. I just made it end. Because that's all I had. I was contemplating making like a demo version. Or releasing it just with that one escape map. But I'm probably not going to include the escape map because I despise so much about it. So yeah. This menu is just a Portal 2 menu, by the way. I just used the original Portal 2 placements of a bunch of these things. I think options and quit were way down the bottom here, and I just moved them up to meet the rest of the buttons. But that's all that was that. So, there's a bunch that I was gonna do with that. What were you saying you liked, Maddie? You like the panels on panels on panels? Alrighty, well, that was Portal Unity. That was the entirety of the Portal Unity section of this stream. Yeah, the welded arm. Yeah, I like that idea. I like having the idea that Persephone was working away in the background, trying to make some, trying to find a way to save you, and instead of just having this weird field that appears below you that just saves you, she's like built this huge arm that stretches around the chamber and like fires a freaking one of those light bridges through. I like that. I like that I made it. I used a tank to move that platform to always face the player, and then as soon as the player's within a certain range, it fires the light bridge and then stops moving. So yeah, yeah, I like that. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole escape chamber is that little arm, well, that huge arm.